bienvenue, I'm the Pickard, and we've got the roof back. Hey! It was supposed to snow today, and as you can tell, it's sunny and cloudy and a bit chilly, but it's lovely, so any excuse to put the roof back. And I've come out for a drive because I thought I'd celebrate the sunshine. Middle of January, and we've got the roof back. How awesome's that? Now then, the other day my friend Dave, who's a writer and a brilliant photographer, he writes for a website called Stances Everything. He owns Stances Everything, and he also writes for Speed Hunters, and they're like modified car websites. If you're into that thing, you've probably heard of them. And he posted a picture of a Nissan 240Z, or a Datsun 240Z, depending on where you're from. And beautiful car, brilliantly built, really clever. The guy put a BMW straight six in it, and it had like rip-off Chinese copies of Japanese wheels. And he was asking like how acceptable that is, how acceptable people think it is. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'd never think flipping this Axiom's in the middle of the road. Get on the road, 1,000-year-old driver." And some people didn't like it so much, but I pointed out that it's much better, rather than spending $2,500 on some super smart wheels, it's better to buy some cheaper wheels first and check everything fits, especially when it's all custom. And you can do it on paper, but it's much better to actually have a set of wheels to set everything up with, especially if everything's new and everything's custom. And the other reason I think it's okay is because, and this ties into what this video is about today, we don't all have an endless supply of money. Like, we all have other priorities other than our cars or our motorbikes or our mountain bikes or even our road bikes or whatever. And we all have that list of stuff on the garage wall of like stuff that'll get done one day. It doesn't matter whether you're a hot rodder or you drive a Honda or you're into like preservation and patina or you're into like concourse restoration. We all have that list of stuff that's going to get done one day. Things that we want to achieve, stuff that we want to get done. And Jolene's no different. My beautiful little 2CV, bless you, is no different. And so I thought I'd make this video kind of revealing my list of stuff that I need to get done and everything that's wrong with my car. The first thing is that my crankcase leaks. The engine block on a 2CV splits in half like a motorbike crankcase, and it weeps a bit of oil. It's not a big leak, it's not a big problem, it's just slightly weepy. But the engine needs taking out, and it needs resealing, and it needs putting back in again so that it doesn't weep. It doesn't lose much oil, it's not a big problem. I just top it up every now and then, but I'm going to sort it. Oh, cutting edges. So yeah, I have an aluminium engine that leaks, and I have inboard brakes. So Jolene's basically a Jaguar. Actually, that's a weird thought. Jolene's actually, because of the skyrocketing prices of 2CVs, Jolene's now worth more than an XJ6. That's a weird thought. Anyway, so yeah, I need to reseal the crankcase, and my starter motor's dead. My starter motor burnt out the other day. The windings are 55 years old. It's not a big deal. There's a few things that I was going to do before I replaced the Stenny starter motors, but like I say, things happen out of our control, things that we didn't necessarily plan for, and that sets the restoration back, and that sets things back. So yeah, I've ordered a new starter motor, it's on the way. And I need to set my carburetor up properly. It's kind of set up. When I got her, she was running very rich. And the mixture was totally off, and the ignition system was very tired. So I replaced all the ignition system, new coil, new spark plug wires, new point, the one point, and all that jazz. And the mixture's off in the carb. She's alright, the idle's just a bit high and she's running a little bit rich, and I think the float level might be a bit high. Not quite perfect, not quite as I'd want it to be. But, like I say, I can't sort that out until the starter motor comes. The other thing's the paint. Now, I'm not going to do down the guy who owned Jolene before me, because he rescued Jolene from a barn. Jolene was a barn find, and he preserved her. He rescued her, and if it wasn't for him, she'd still be sat in that barn, probably rotting away. So I haven't got a bad word to say about the man. But, having said that, he was just an amateur mechanic. He wasn't a professional mechanic. He wasn't an engineer. And he wasn't a restorer. And so he did his best on many, many things. And some things he rushed. One of the things he rushed was the paint. It's like a driveway paint job that's been done with rattle cans. It looks good from about 3 meters away. And it's got some places that have too much paint, not enough air. Some places that have not enough air and too much paint. It has some gritty spots, it has some shiny spots, it has some satin spots, it has some matte spots. And it's all a bit all over the place. And there's a couple of places where the paint's rubbed through, a couple of nicks and that kind of thing, which patina doesn't actually bother me. I have no problem with patina at all. You know, you build a nice car and then you use that car and you earn the patina. Basically, that's my opinion on it. You know, you use it, you polish it, you clean it, and any car that's perfect doesn't get used. You know what I mean? It's impossible to keep a car perfect if you're using it, really using it. And I do plan on really using Jolene. In the future, I really want to go to Morocco in her, and I really want to go to the UK in her as well. So yeah, one of the things that made me fall in love with 2CVs was the fact that people really use them, and the paint's not going to stop me doing that. However, there are a few chips. I do need to give it a really good sand, a really good colour sand, a really good polish, and I do need to touch up the paint because it's not quite up to my standards and what I'd like. Equally, the bumpers need painting. They have a couple of slightly rough edges, and the bumpers don't match either. That's the thing. The front bumper is correct for my car, 1963 AZA. However, the rear bumper is from an Azam. An Azam is the deluxe version of the 2CV, or the deluxe version of my generation of 2CV. This is a very wet, slippy road. And an Azam has like stainless steel loops on the bumpers. I'll put up a photo of the Azam catalogue, and it looks really odd because it had loops on the back and no loops on the front. It has overrides on the front. So what I'm going to do, I've got rid of the loops and actually flipped the mountings for the loops upside down. That's because they had a big hole in them. And it looks okay, but I've got some big rubber bumps on, like bumper bulges on my bumpers, and a big rubber strip on my rear bumper, and an aluminium shiny strip on my front one. So I need to repaint both bumpers, and I need to put new aluminium strips front and rear. The one on the front was perfect. Unfortunately, because the starter motor's knackered, I slipped one day while I was crank starting the car, and I smashed it with the crank. Sorry. I've also thought about adding some spotlights, some secondary running lights, because Jolene's headlights are period 1963 type corner, and they're not very good. They are as 1963 headlights are, and they're very bright. You're visible to other cars, but when you're on a road with other cars and they've got super bright headlights, my headlights don't project at all, and it does get misty here and foggy here, so I do need some power in those headlights. So yeah, as well as some secondary running lights, some spotlights, I might go for LED lights as well, some LED brake lights and some LED headlights, because I want to make her as usable as possible, because I want to really use her and I want to go long distance in her. So anything that I can do to make her that bit better, these are some wicked switchbacks here, anything I can do to make her better in that respect is fantastic. So alright, I'm just going to concentrate while I go around these switchbacks. And we're going to have to shift into second. Oh, no, I'm alright. She's got it. Grrr. Speaking of lighting, the one other issue is my gauges. Jolene has a really nice Jaeger speedometer and fuel gauge. The fuel gauge jumps up and down a little bit. I think I've got a loose wire somewhere, so I need to check that. But also, at night when I turn the lights on, the only thing that lights up on the gauge is the fuel gauge. So at some point I'm going to have to take the speedo out, and I think it's just a dead bulb. But if it is a dead bulb, I want to replace it with an LED. And another thing's the steering wheel. I'd like an AMI6 steering wheel. If anybody out there has an AMI6 steering wheel, let me know. I'm thinking an AMI6 steering wheel anyway, because this is the wheel on this car is welded onto the shaft. It's just a steel hoop, and it's alright, but it's a bit slippy. So I would like to put maybe an AMI6 steering wheel. I've thought about getting an Italian Nardi steering wheel or a Motorlita steering wheel, but that means I have to replace the shaft and a bunch of other stuff. So I don't know about that. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do in that respect. I've put new tyres on her because the tyres that she came with were original 1960s ones with tubes in, Michelin X's with tubes, which haven't been made for a long time, and I wouldn't have driven her back across the Puy de Dôme quite as exuberantly as I did if I'd have known that, because a few days later I did crack one of the rear tyres and had to go and buy some replacements. Drive nice and slow through here, because it's somebody's village. Be respectful. Another thing on the list is sound deadening. Follow me on Instagram, you'll have probably seen the photo of my parents' Diane fitted with 2 kits of dynamite. That thing has like it has like 30 kilos of dynamite in it. But it rides so quietly and so beautifully. It's lovely. So I'm thinking that I'm going to dynamite all of Jolene's floor and the inner doors, and most of the firewall, like where your feet go, basically. The reason I'm telling you all this, and the reason I'm making this video, is that after the popularity of the last 2 videos, because believe it or not, 400 views is really good for my YouTube channel. Thank you, by the way, everybody who's following and supporting these videos. I've decided to do all these jobs on YouTube. I'm going to do it project by project, little job by little job. We're going to break the list down all together and do it video by video, basically. So yeah, we'll go through the list and we'll make Jolene awesome and adventure ready. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing videos about the house and about the barn. I am. The planning permission goes through this week, hopefully. And we'll be doing more videos on the house. 2019 is going to be the year of making stuff and of doing stuff. and of real productivity, because I didn't come to France to sit on my backside, I promise you. Okay guys, that's about it from me, so thank you very much for watching. Please be awesome to each other. If you want to leave a comment down below, or if you want to click subscribe or click like or any of that stuff, please do, it helps this channel massively. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.